marks the spot. Welcome to Wallride X, the Wallride exclusive, the Wallride experience. My name is Dez, aka FlippinBoards. I buy, sell, trade, and collect rare skateboards. You should too. That guy right there, 30 years in the game. Mr. Unified, Mr. Sugar, the best kept secret. I said it, secret's out though. Professional skater, shop owner, Marko, Sharko, Jazbinsek.
What's up? Today's guest has a mindset of a champion. He's one of the best switch stand skaters, had a long skateboarding career, and now he's giving back to the community. He was one of the early young skaters on a big team. Sammy Baptista.
What's up?
Let's go, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Thanks for coming, man.
Oh, of course, I've known you for so long, Marko.
Yeah,
always had.
I need, dude.
My bad, I was so hyped. That's
so
very
hyped.
nice to meet you. Yeah,
bro. I gotta let everyone know, man. Like, my favorite video all time, Fulfill the Dream.
Oh, man.
I literally was a kid. I'd put that video in every day. Watch. Yeah. I know everything, bro. And then like your part, I'd be like, damn, look at that kid, man. Like, he's like me. Like, he's a kid. He's on the team and he's doing it and he's killing it. So like literally, bro, like to be here right now, like. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
It's an honor to have you.
For me, I'm like,
thank
what
you
the
so
heck?
much.
This is
Thank
amazing.
you so much.
Yeah.
I'm such a skate rat that anyone who's hyped on Fulfill the Dream, I explained that for me it was a questionable video. And like I remember bootlegging it with Jesse Sylvie and like having my copy and we would watch it and go skate out in front of my house at night. And I remember thinking like all they do is go travel and skate and film. I was like, all right, like the rest of you guys have it wrong and these guys have it right. And so later on for Fulfill the Dream to mean something to somebody, it meant so much to me because that's all I wanted to do is like now I want to go and film and be in a video, so thank you, it means the world to me. And you're wearing the Muska shirt,
bro.
I was on the team with Muska and Olsen and Smolik and Olsen. I remember that was probably the first time I heard David Bowie was in Olsen's part in one of those foundation videos, and then Muska was like larger than life, and we were all waiting for that double kink grind, and I know I was, and then to be in the video where that was in was pretty amazing, you know?
Dude. Honestly though, like I would watch it like every day, but I wouldn't watch it all the way through every day. Literally after your part, I'd be so hyped there. Like I'm going, man. I'm gonna go skate right now. I swear, dude. So,
it means a lot.
Yeah, man.
So Sammy, what's your current setup? What size do you skate? And what did you skate back in the day?
You know what's funny is that like it went I was like 7.5 forever. And I know everyone rides bigger boards these days, and like I started when I was really young, and so I didn't have much power, and so 7.5 worked perfect, and that was kind of the standard issue back then. Then it was 7.75 for like ever. Right now it's 8, which like it took a second to get used to because I don't skate that much like for me because I do a lot of lessons and stuff, but once I got used to 8 it was fine and stuff.
Okay, you got used to it.
The 8 was harder for certain tricks before, you know, so like when you already have if the glove fits, just you know, skate where you like.
Sure.
You know?
So where are you from?
I'm from Santa Barbara, California. We have the skate zone up there. Back in the day, it was the Powell Factory Skate Park, which was in like questionable video. And
how old were you when you started skating?
I was 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah.
What age did you get sponsored?
Like 11. So like early, yeah.
What age did you start getting paid?
Just
asking questions.
No, it's all good. I think like 15. I was thinking about that. Fulfill the Dream came out in 98, and then it was like shortly after that came out that we started getting a little money.
We're gonna talk about the skate zone, but let's pull up. Let's
do it. All right. So what we do here, this is my little product, surprise deck. You don't know what you're gonna get. I just wanted to create an experience for people.
That's
not
so
just
awesome.
skaters, man. Just people anyone that loves skateboarding to be able to open something and be like, oh, I don't know what's in here.
But it reminds me of the Randy Colvin, remember? And it was such a raw graphic.
It's so hard. We have to bag it up.
I had that board, Randy.
We got this, man. We'll have you just crack it open. Let's see what you get.
Out.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see.
And then just hold it to the camera. Show them.
You got the baggie?
You know what's crazy? Like, was that by design or was this just random?
These aren't really surprises, you know, for us, because we specifically picked them out for our guests.
This was the board that, like, when I first seen this as a kid, you know, it had like the Batman and it had the dragon, and like these boards were so special, like the Powell boards and stuff. My friend rode for Powell back in the day when I was really young before I really got into it. They seemed like Ferraris, you know? It was more than a skateboard. It was like, whoa, like that was magic, you know? So this board's really awesome. Steve Caballero's awesome too.
Yeah. This is actually an original.
This is an original.
1987.
Wow. Oh my God, you don't play with it.
It's older than I am.
That's crazy.
By a long shot.
You know what's weird too is that like, So I feel like if you really love something, and I talk to a lot of people, like they want to do something, they want to make beats or they want to do art, and I'm like, but you got to really want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I really, really love skateboarding, and I skated for Powell. I got sponsored when I was around 11, and randomly Steve Caballero, like I was in Colorado, moved from Santa Barbara to Colorado, and he called me, and he's like, it's Steve Caballero. I called the shop, and I was like, whoa, it's Steve Caballero. Like I was tripping. He's like, here's the FedEx number, so send your footy because we want to put you in the. So, but I think I like manifested it because I liked skating so much, and so I was like, I like Steve Caballero in this graphic so much that like Steve Caballero just popped up on the phone, and I was like, whoa, like it's pretty crazy. Yeah,
So
this board's awesome.
We didn't know that. We didn't know, like, Mark was like, pick a Powell board. I was like, all right. Nah, I was going to go with a different board.
Yeah, there's no accidents, so that was like.
Yeah. Then at the last second, I swear, I was like, no, I want to do this blue Caballero. I don't know why.
That's
I just
random.
threw it in
yeah.
the bag.
But I loved these graphics. I mean, they did a good job of making it very special. What were you going to say, Marko?
Skate Zone. Powell Skate Park.
Oh my God. It was like, you know, two moments that really stick out in my head. Well, a lot, you know. But I remember seeing Willie Santos like come through. I didn't know who it was. Like maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I put all the pieces together later on because as a kid, you're just like people, you know, and they're skating good. Willie Santos came and there was a coffin that was a ledge, you know, and it was like really hard plastic, not recycled plastic, but just really hard like a rails plastic. Dude, Willie Santos came and just nose blunted that thing first try. And I was like, I didn't even know you could nose blunt, let alone do it that fast first try. I was bugging out. And then Danny Way, any given day, that was just a random day. And then another day, it was just a random moment. We didn't know Danny Way was going to be there. And then Danny Way is doing back heel indies on the Taj Mahal, we called it, like 14 feet high.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm like 2 feet tall, looking up, just bugging out, like 30 grown men all sitting there watching Danny Way, like, okay, like that's the pinnacle of, you know, but other than that, like, it was just the best skate park. We had the best hip. It was so big, triple spine, huge roll in, like the pyramid and the hip, like I said, were so amazing. There's so much footage of like Danny Way's epic switch front 180 over the pyramid and then gap to back lip. And I feel like that one stuck out because like right after that was Mike Carroll's park.
Wow.
And so like the skate park that I'm riding my bike to every day after school, I'm watching a questionable video of Danny Way do that, and I'm like,
Heavy. Dude.
I was telling somebody, I was like, I didn't have EMB, I didn't have Love Park, didn't have Pulaski, but we had Skate Zone. And as a kid, that's what you needed because I'm not going to jump on some ledge, but I'm going to be able to launch off the hip and figure it out. So it was so amazing, yeah.
That's OG, right?
I don't know.
It is OG.
That's crazy.
It is?
Yeah, 87.
How
Because
does
you
it sound?
see how it says a 7 ply on the back, flip it over? There's no reissue. If reissues, we'll say reissue, and it'll have the year. Like
So-
reissue 2016,
That's right.
2017.
Little print right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Still has the wrapper too.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
So this is the original.
Who keeps them
Original.
that long? Huh? That's crazy.
How much does it go for?
Oh, man.
Like 3
Hundreds or thousands?
A couple grand. I would
Couple
say,
grand.
Yeah.
easy, yeah.
Yeah, easy, yeah.
So we're talking about Skate Zone, Powell. Powell's part of the Big Five in the 80s, meaning the Big Five brands own the industry. And then you switch to Shorty's.
Cool.
Before that, you told me a story one time. Rodney Mullen came to the zone.
I wanted to bring that up. I'm so glad you bring it up.
Oh,
Let's talk about that.
I remember one time, like, this is how crazy the Skate Zone was, is that, like, and this is coming as I'm talking, like, I don't think about these stories until we bring it up. I remember Mark Gonzalez was over in the corner skating, and they got bummed at him, and they're like, stop skating over there. And James Craig was like, I didn't even know who Mark Gonzalez was. Like, skating started at banned this and questionable video, but only banned this because I had the Powell sales. I would get the stuff from the Powell sale, and so I had the video.
Word.
I didn't know about any of those skaters before. I didn't know about Nadas or Gons or anybody. I just knew about Mike Carroll and Pat Duffy.
Yeah.
And Danny Way. And so Gons is over there. That happens. James Craig's like, that's like the best ever or something. And I was like, all right, I didn't even know who it was. Like, all right, I guess there's some amazing skater over there. But then fast forward, all of my friends were super incredible at skating. Jason Phillips was already sponsored. Like, my crew was Jason Phillips, Jesse Sylvie, Levi Marvin, Pablo Favela, and me, and Jacob Tacoma and some other heads. But so, like, Jesse ended up getting out of Shorties at me. Levi Marvin ended up skating for Santa Cruz, but he won the Castle Finals, and Rodney Mullen hit him up to get on Plan B flow. And so he's getting Colin McKay Raiden boards. And we were like, dude, you're rich. You know what I mean? You're, like, famous already, you know? But then so that was those stories, and I didn't even put it together. I didn't even notice that Rodney was there, but yeah, he hit up Levi, and it was crazy. But we thought we were like pretty good, you know. So we're like, yeah, it's gonna happen. But we were in the epicenter of everything too, you know.
Right. That must elevate your abilities and your skating progress and progression.
I call it Castle alumni and Skate Zone alumni. So it's like James Craig, JP Jadi, Joey Brzezinski, Tone Nguyen, Brian Horde, Jason Dill's involved in it, Jerron Wilson, like everyone you can think of. Weston Korea beat my friend Jason Phillips at a contest, and so like we knew the level of everyone that was skating, and there was a very smaller community back then. And seeing Malcolm Watson at Rancho Cucamonga contest, tray flip nose slide the little skate park rail, and just be like,
wow,
just bugging out. Seeing Ron Resurrection and thinking he was like Tim Gavin, you know, like, that's how long ago all this was.
How old were you when this was all happening?
Then I was like 10.
Oh.
10, yeah. It was just crazy, you know, very epic moment.
What about the story when Rodney Mullen put stickers on the door at Skate Zone?
Oh yeah, that was I was like there, but I don't remember it specifically happening, but I was around there. They put like blind stickers. At the time it seemed way gnarlier than it was, but they're like, oh, they like stickered the door shut so nobody could open it. Which
with
like
blind stickers.
With blind stickers.
At Powell Skate Park.
At Powell Skate Park. But it wasn't Rodney. I think it was like Guy and Rudy or those group, but I didn't even notice them, you know. I would see like but I don't remember that specific thing happening or being there, but I remember the story of it. Like, whoa, they came through and like stickered it up, and again, it didn't register that they had quit Powell to start blind. Like it was too above my awareness, you know. But yeah, those are normal moments at the Skate Zone.
Normal moments for a 10-year-old Sam Baptista.
Just seeing it all, you know. Ron Whaley like doing kickflips so high, and I was like, whoa, like. It was crazy.
Let's pull the board.
Let's do it. Got another one for you. Oh, this one's double stuffed. This is our first double stuff.
I love how you just love skateboarding so much. And that's why Marko, he's always had so much passion for skateboarding. And I took a long break from it, you know, and like I retired 12 years ago, and I've had a long time to think about everything. And now I love it more than ever. So people that are so amped on it like you, it's just special to me because it's like, this is what the heart and soul and culture really is. Like you're looking at somebody who is the culture of skateboarding.
Dude,
you know?
Appreciate it, man. Likewise. I mean, well, actually, I have a basketball background.
Oh,
and so I would pull up to my practices like on a skateboard, and the coaches would look at me like,
oh, because you're going to get broke out? Yeah.
Right. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, you know, even at the professional level, like in the Philippines or Mexico.
Oh, you
like,
played? That's
yeah.
That's
what's man.
You know what's weird, too, is that basketball is the most similar to skateboarding of team sports, because when you get the ball, it's you.
Word.
And so you're doing it more, because I only like really watching basketball.
Right.
That's the only thing I like of other sports.
And I would see like a lot of skaters. Some of them could jump, man.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was like dunking, and I was like, damn. And I was like, is that from skating? I feel like it is. And so I would skate as my like vertical jump program. And then I'd be like, dude, it gave me more balance, you know? But the fact that I wasn't able to skate as often and as much, like I went to high school like Stevie Perez and like really cool skaters, but like it just made me love skating even more, because it's like, damn, man, I want to
always getting a taste, but you can never get as much.
And so like when I had the chance to start collecting, that's why I was like, oh, the nostalgia hit, and then it just kept going. And then so to be here now, man, I'm just, I guess
that's what's up. Let's check this
mind
out.
blowing.
Oh, it's such a blessing, because I'm still such a little kid, you know. I'm like, I gotta sit there and tell them, I gotta remind myself, like, oh, these cool things happen. Double stuff. Let's see it. Oh, what?
All right.
These ones. Oh, the B Turner signed.
Yeah.
So you know, this one's awesome because Tony Bielis was such a visionary, and like he just didn't care.
The owner of Shorty's.
Yeah, the owner of Shorty's. He just didn't care.
Hold that up.
It was awesome to be around somebody who like had such a vision and literally didn't care about what anyone else thought, which is so rare in society. You know, we're all putting on our face. And Brandon Turner, this is my brother from another mother. You know, literally, I love this guy so much. He's been there for me so much, and one of the best skaters of all time, and longevity wise, like day one guy. You know, there's a very few that skate at this level for how long he's been doing it for. Amazing.
And you guys were about the same age, right, when you were on Shorty?
He was like a year older.
Yeah.
A year older, but yeah, same age. And you know, when I look back, it's like I was more technical and he would go more bigger. But he was super tech too. But when we first saw and met each other, like we didn't like each other. Because I was like, it was because I was skating the skate zone, the level was high, you know, so I moved to Boulder and then I was skating really hard all the time. And so like, it was rare to come across somebody that was as young as me that was like doing it, you know, like not not like that, but you know what I mean? You want to have somebody to battle with. Me and Jesse Sylvie were always battling. Jesse was better than me, and I always had to catch up to him. And so when Brandon came out to Boulder, I was like, I don't like this dude, man. He's so good, you know, and he goes so big, and he didn't like me either. And then, I mean, just like things that take time to grow on each other, and then we became brothers and best friends, and I love him. I mean, I need to FaceTime him back, you know what I mean? I need to give him a call back.
Do you remember like the moment where it was like, you know what? Damn, we've been off each other for some time now, but now it's like we're homies. We've been pushing each other. We've been making each other better.
You know what happened? You know what happened is that you're very like, is a thin line between confidence and cockiness. And like with that being said, it's like if you're confident, borderline cocky, you kind of have to be kind of narcissistic, you know what I'm saying? Because you're only thinking about you, you know? So like a team sport like basketball, you need to have Marko grab the ball from you and dunk it, or you need to have Marko pass it to you. You got to work together. In skating, we don't need to work together. So I didn't have any feelings towards anyone besides my own thing, no matter what they were going through. And Brandon got hit by a car. Wow. And at Fulfill the Dream premiere, he was in a wheelchair. And I remember thinking like, oh, that sucks. But I literally was like, I mean, I was probably so psycho back then. I was like, oh, it's on, bro. Like, now you got time off. I'm time on, you know? Like, it was battle mode, you know?
Battle, yeah. Then
I tore my ACL after Guilty, which is interesting. His was right after Fulfill the Dream. Mine was right after Guilty. And I called him and I said, dude, I get it. You know, and I'm so sorry that you were out that long. And he just had my back, and from then on, we've just been brothers because we had that like brotherhood. And he's like the realest dude ever, you know what I'm saying? But we're the same. Like, don't cross us, and we're all good. But I go to church, and I'm a believer these days. So even if you did cross me, I gotta forgive you 6 times. You know, that's how we do it.
Hey, yo.
Sammy, can we go back and talk about how Shorties got started? Let's go back to Chad Muska being on Toy Machine in the Welcome to the Hell video. What happened with that?
And we still gotta talk about that graphic.
Yes. So Muska's supposed to have a part in Toy Machine's video, Welcome to Hell. And they had argument, was not in the video, and then that was the beginning of Shorties, right? Tony said, I want this guy on, we're not getting the company started. Was something like that? Without Chad.
I think like
skateboards, not hardware.
Well, it's weird, like
what was the
I like movies, you know, so it's like Ashton Kutcher and Butterfly Effect, you know, like all these things happen to like spur all these things, you know. And so like I think you know, like Ed and Toy Machine, and it wasn't like, it's completely different vibes, you know what I'm saying? So you got like Girl and Chocolate.
Jamie Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not even Jamie, you know. I think Jamie's more work ethic, and Ed he's very eclectic skate like core person, you know. And then you got Muska, who is like Tom Penny, who is like life of the party, who is like, we're gonna handle biz, but we're gonna do it having fun, and I'm gonna have everyone involved. And so I think that like Ed and Chad, I don't know what happened then, but I could just see it where it's like you have somebody who has a very set way of how they want to do it and how they see it, and Chad's like, this is just Chad in a nutshell. Like, that's what I love about him. He's like, I'm gonna throw it at the wall, and whatever sticks. And so it's like completely different painters that aren't going to mesh well doing the company together, because Chad is Chad and Ed is Ed, which are both amazing people. And then fast forward, you had Tony, who Shorties was doing very well, and he'd already expanded, I think, to like bearings and grip tape, and the company was doing very well. And he was going to do Shorty skateboards regardless. They were just figuring out what pro they were going to get. And so Chad was going to get on Flip. And then the thing is those companies, nobody was paying anyone, you know? And so it's like, you're on the biggest team, but you're not going to get paid anything. Tony came through
heavy
and was like 5 racks.
Yep.
Oh, yeah?
5K.
Oh, 5 a month.
Wow.
Chad said,
Unheard
where
of
do
that.
I sign? Yeah, you know what I mean? Where do I sign? And so as us, we're on the Lakers. Tony's got the bread. But the thing is that now I get it, where when people get the company for so long, for one, the company has to have a lot of resources to stay sustaining.
Totally.
The company gets more employees, there's less to go around. Shorties was so small and young, they had a lot of, and we're doing big sales, that they had a lot of resources to get somebody like Chad.
A lot of cash.
But I think also too that other sports teams pay the person, then try to make the team happen and recoup. Skateboarding, they want to make sure the person's going to sell 20,000 boards before they pay. And so Tony put a bet on Chad, and boy, it paid off. So, and then that's kind of how it all happened, you know. And then Chad put the team together, and then Jesse, Sylvie, and me were already on, but with the stipulations when Chad got on that Chad could choose to have us or not. And then so I think Jesse and me honestly just got really lucky because it was like an outlier situation with two kids that aren't really, there's not really any stress on the company. He gets to choose every other rider. And then Chad and me, we both really seen eye to eye. That's like my brother too. So I think when he met me, I was like this little, I don't care about nothing skate rat, and I just want to skate. And Chad was like, all right, this kid's cool. And then that's kind of the rest is history. It all happened like super fast.
Dude, talk about this graphic right
Talk
here.
about this one, yeah. Well, cool, man. That's awesome.
I don't. The thing is with Tony, he's super reclusive and like weird about what he's doing, and he doesn't like anyone in his stuff in terms of creative wise. And so I don't know what he was thinking or where that graphic came from. I just know that he was like, he's kind of Rocco helped inspire Tony, I think. And so Tony was like, Shorties and World Industries are that next wave of like, we don't care, we don't like your rules, and we're gonna do it our way. And so that's probably Tony's like, I'm gonna put some dude with blood, and
Let me see this.
Mm-hmm. Who was on the team? Shorties.
Right.
The team
when
was
you got on.
When I got on.
Or were you like the first? You and Jesse the first two after Chad?
We were the first two.
Wow. So this is actually Landmine Larry.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, they did a series, GI Victims, and it was like instead of
Larry.
GI Joe, it was like basically poking fun at all that. And this is 1996, I believe, 96 board, and even the ad on like in the magazines barely said Shorties. Like you have to really look hard and to see Shorties, and it's like had a bunch of different war vets or and this is gnarly. But I think this one was even taken off of the wall at Shorties.
That's dope. Yeah, these ones were. Tony was we were figuring it out, you know what I mean? Like at the beginning, you're just making some products, and I barely until you brought it out of the thing, I wouldn't even have remembered that. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Skate history, part of my personal collection, man.
I love it.
The team.
So it was it's interesting looking back because it's like Brandon Turner, Aaron Snyder, Chad Muska, Tone Nguyen, Peter Smolik, Jesse Sylvie, Steve Olson, and myself. There's 8. I always think of 7. So it's like Steve Olson was on Foundation with Chad, and I think Chad and Steve really vibed. And then Chad was on Maple, and Snyder and Chad, I think, obviously vibed. And then Brandon was like the young, like nobody was touching him for as big as he was going for the age. And then Smolik was the last to get on, and like Smolik, he was always Smolik, and so he was like, Chad was like, the team's already formed, but then Chad's an energy person, and so he went on this trip to Arizona, and like Smolik nollie hard flipped over the rail into the bank at that Albuquerque spot. It wasn't Arizona, it was New Mexico, but Chad was like, all right, this dude, is just obviously great. And then that was the team. And
who was on Maple first?
It was Chad Muska and Aaron Snyder, I think, that connection.
Oh.
And again, I didn't even think about any of it. I was just like, okay, these are the riders. I honestly didn't care. I was like, I'm just on a team. I get to be in an ad, like. But amazing squad.
Fulfill the dream. And then 1999 Transworld Awards.
Yeah,
Let's
like
talk about the video first and then the awards.
It's crazy because I was just talking to somebody about this that I was so like think about in terms of I'll talk about like what happened, but then in terms of my view on it, like I'm moved from Santa Barbara to Boulder, Colorado. I'm like on the outskirts of skateboarding, like Joey Bass and lived out in Denver, and he would come, and Drake Jones and Joey Bass would come around the shop sometimes. I was like, oh, there's a pro. And then I just wanted to get on a team so bad. I was on Powell, but I knew I had to make a move. Then Shorties pops up. Okay, we were going to do a video. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just like, all right, I get to choose it. I was like, I get to have my own song, because I'd been in a Powell video, and it was like a whatever song, and I didn't have to choose anything. And I was like, okay, I want to choose my own song. And then Fulfill the Dream drops. We knew that, like, looking back, I didn't even know Smolik's part was that insane until, like, way later because the tricks were so advanced. I just knew that, like, Muska's part was just, like, crazy, and that it just caught wildfire, and it was really weird because I was like, okay, now I went from being this kid who wanted to get sponsored and, like, I don't know, I'm just trying to make it happen, and then now I'm in this video next to Muska, and I remember I went to the trade show, and it was, like, crazy because we had been around skating and around the other industry heads, and it wasn't like that. And so after Fulfill the Dream drop, we were like, whoa,
rock stars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, they were,
yes.
But I was definitely like, people were more hyped on me than before, and I was getting S footwear, and people were more like, there was a lot more love and a lot more like, I felt like, okay, you're going to be in a good position. And then the Transworld Awards, I didn't know none of that was going to happen. Yeah, and we just swept the awards. I say we, like our team.
Best team, Shorties.
Best team, best style, best street skater, best video part.
Peter Smolik, best part.
Yeah.
And it was like we swept it. And I think it was the first Transworld Awards. And so, but just looking back, so amazing to be a part of it as a kid. Like, okay, now I'm not only sponsored, I'm in like one of those cool videos that people like.
Wait, I gotta know something. Why were you throwing up though? There's a there's a little clip of you like throwing up.
You know what's crazy is that that was like 4th of July. That was July 5th, and we were gonna go on a road trip to San Diego to see Jay Strickland, and on like a Church of Skating trip. And then they were picking me up, and so I was young and like wild, dude. You know, I don't know how old I was, and then I was curing myself from the night before, and that's why I don't have any shoes on either.
But why?
Yeah,
I was like,
you were wild, you know, like
you got a kid putting that video in. I'm just like, that was it for me, man. Watching that video, that was it. Honestly, it was like I can't anything else. Like I did watch other videos, but it was like everything was pitted up against Fulfill the Dream.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, it just nothing could compete.
Kind of captures a moment, you know, like Arto was talking about that with like Sorry, and you know, you have like Video Days or Ban This or Mouse, you know, and I it's hard for me to put Fulfill the Dream in that category, but it seems like people like it like that. And I think it just captured an awesome moment with people that were hyped, you know, and the kind of the come up, you know, because it was Muska's first real like solid part, and then Smolik. And
your part looked like the most fun. Like you were having the most fun out there, man.
It was
smiling. You were like pointing. You're doing this. You landed. You know, you're landing tricks, and you're like, "Yeah, I told you."
I think when I look back too, is that like I was waiting so long for that moment, and so that was the easiest part to film, and the most blessed I could ever feel. You know, because I was like, all right, I had all these new tricks that I hadn't ever filmed really, and so I had a good filmer. I had a reason to film, and I was just super thankful. So, you know.
Let's pull the board.
Yeah, we'll take this one right here. So this is the Brandon Turner reissue. They just brought it back like last year.
Billy.
Signed, Cha. Boom. PT, we love you, man. All right, let's move on. Oh, wait, there's more. All right, do the honors. Hold that up. Let's see what you pull.
Let's see what it is. Oh, the board.
98. That's OG.
98. This is the OG one.
Screen print.
Shout out to Chad. You know what I'm saying? He was a super influential person in my life. You know, one of the most amazing people I've ever come across. Like, I don't think it's an accident why was so successful and his skate career was so amazing. Like, the dude just has energy that's like felt on other planets. You know, and that's a new one.
It's the recent drop.
I love what he's doing too. Yeah. I love what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's great, man. Great what he's doing.
Oh, you got the Rosa one too.
Oh yeah, we got.
That's an old one.
That's a reissue, and it's signed by Rosa.
Sick.
Reissue signed by Rosa. Yeah.
Sam, we had Jeremy Rogers on.
Shout out to Jeremy. I love Jeremy.
Yeah.
I seen the little snippets. Yeah.
Let's talk about the face of a brand. Chad Muska and Shorties. You know, the whole pyramid structure. All you guys underneath, and then Chad Muska on the top. Can you touch up on that structure?
You know what's weird is I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know, because Chad was a little bit older, not older, but I mean, we thought people were gonna retire at like 21. That's like, you know, Mike Carroll talks about like Hensley and Sal Barbier being retired, and Plan B being a stressful environment because of that. And so I didn't think skateboarding was a long career, you know, and it wasn't in the cards when we were younger. And so I think Muska had such a moment on Shorties at that time, but yeah, it's hard when you have one person being such a face of something, you know. And this Shorties did so well, and so I mean, this was like a dream come true for a company and a rider, because Tony had so much resources to promote so much, and Muska was such a lovable guy that like it was a match made in heaven because they sold so much. But then at the end, it was like, I was so young that I still really wanted to do it. And then Chad, I think, was having a moment where he wanted to chill for a little bit. And then Tony was already having like a 7, 8 year, 9 year run of being kind of burnt on, I think, running the company. So I think, yeah, having a face of the company is hard because it has to be bigger than just one person.
Just one person.
Yeah.
Shorties was the largest advertiser in the industry. They spent the most money on ads. So back to the Transworld Awards, you know, it was.
Could have been a little bit of a yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. You know,
I didn't even
but
think
it
about
was-
that.
You told me that. Hey, we talked about that in the past, and you were like, hey, we were the best team, the
But
best style.
hold on, can I see this?
Well, I didn't say we were the best team, best style. You know, for me,
All right, I'll
for
say
me,
you guys were.
for me, I loved the Girl and Chocolate dudes. I'm a huge Mike Carroll, Rick Howard, Guy Mariano, Keenan Milton, Eric Costin. Like,
But you know what's funny? Like this graphic, arguably, probably the most iconic of that time frame. Like
It was-
between '98, this came out in '98, so between '98 and
It was
2000.
the bestseller.
Bruh, like in all the different colors.
It's the
Like-
which is random, you know, because it's like you don't.
better than Tony Hawk.
Yeah, better than outsold Tony.
Hawk. Outsold Tony.
I think easy, you know. I don't think there's anybody in the skateboarding that can drop the reissues like Chad does and then sell like that. I don't think
Right.
there's like any other skaters, you know. And I think the Bones Brigade and all that stuff, it sells as collections. And I think each skater's so amazing. The Bones Brigade itself, and that's a good point. The Bones Brigade, you know, Steve Caballero, Mike McGill, they're all such iconic skaters. I think of them as a group. And then Muska's like this just standalone, like his product sells so much. But what's weird is
He's
that-
the brand.
He's the brand, but
He's the
what's
brand.
weird is I looked at this board and I was like, whatever, you know. What's
Right.
funny is that we got to choose the orange one.
Yeah.
We got to choose the orange shape, and it was a Ronnie Bertino Plan B shape,
Ah,
and so we skated that one. But it was cool because it was like Muska wanted us. They probably wanted us to skate the board, so they gave us leeway to choose the one that would be the kid's size,
yeah.
which is the
Which was-
7.5.
Mhm.
Muska was
So,
skating to 8, and I was like,
when-
big.
So Sam, when you were skating with Muska, did he call the shots? What spot we going to film? with
Chad was like
photographers? Was he
the
like the
best
guy
ever to skate with, and he was like,
organizing
it was gnarly
missions?
though too, because it was he just kind of went with the flow, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, dude, it wasn't like
Okay.
it was way more lax than you would think, and Chad's not as methodical as like most skaters, you know, but there was times where it was like there was like a feeling in the air of like we know the level that he wants it to be at.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember him telling me specifically, like, hey, like, this is what you should be handling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you to go do it right now, but like, this is the level. And he's looking at me like, that's what we should be doing. And so he had spots he wanted to skate, but Chad is very like sporadic energy. So we'd be in like Venice with the boombox and mobbing or LA High, and he'd be skating something. He skates everything, and so he really doesn't need to find a specific spot. Like when we went to the Gons rail, I don't think Chad I don't even know if that was planned. But he's like, got the boombox. He's like, all right, let's go. He's just hyped and stuff. And then
The front 50.
the front 50, yeah. So I don't
In
think
Venice?
that some of it was planned out, but I don't think that
Okay.
I don't think he needed. His career was so solidified that I think a lot of skaters, it's very specific of like, I need to go do this. This needs to happen. I need to cross this T and dot this I. And I think Chad was like but I think Jamie had already set that in motion with him, that they knew the level. And so, and he taught me that like, today's the day, you know what I'm saying? Like not tomorrow. And so he didn't need to go and schedule something because every day was the day, and things he was handling biz all the time. We would go have dinner. I remember one time we had a team dinner. We're skating all day. Steve Olson frontside flipped the like the courthouse gap. It's not even a gap. It's like a mountain. So it's like off this marble ledge into the street that he frontside flipped in. It's the same. It's on the other side of the gap to ledge
Okay.
on the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went out to eat.
Okay.
And there's a really steep rail at Century City Mall, like a really steep, like 16 or 17 or something. I don't know. We ate, and then Muska looked at it, and he just grinded that thing after we ate. No plans, but just like that good, you know? It was amazing.
Yeah, this graphic changed the game, honestly. And it's funny because even as a kid, when I would look at the graphic, I didn't even know what it was. I was like, is that Brandon Turner? I used to think it was Brandon Turner sitting. Because I'm like, why is it a kid like...
Brandon Turner's iconic, too, you know?
Well, yeah, that's why, you know? I was like... But then, yeah, it's Muska sitting with the shirt, with the, the logo there on the shirt. And I guess he has headphones on.
Yeah, he has headphones, and like, you know, I think about this a lot because I like creative stuff, and I think the owner of Shorty's, Tony Billis, he had a good vision of like for what was going to be iconic. You know what I'm saying? And so I think about this with like music, for instance. It's like somebody could skate to like a song and it's a hip hop song and like it didn't age well. Or somebody could skate to a song that's a hip hop song and it aged well. And so like it aged very well and it became iconic, which most graphics don't, and they kind of just get thrown into the wind, you know?
Well, think about it. Like, there's a whole generation of kids that were watching Fulfill the Dream, myself included. And then now, as we're slightly older, we're able to afford boards
Yeah.
And then it's like they bring this back because there was a period when like this graphic wasn't. It was very hard to find.
Tony and Chad like were two amazing, creative, very specific individuals. You know, they have very specific visions. You know, so those visions didn't align for a little bit, and so now it all worked out where they were able to redo the boards and stuff.
Word.
I'm stoked that, and this is a side note to every other pro that's, you know, like when your career winds down, I think that I want to see more pros like take it into their own hands. You know, like everyone out there is so incredible, and we're so banking on the team and somebody to promote us and somebody to sell us. Like Chad is doing it his own way, and I'm so proud of him. His own shoes again, and his boards again, and he's doing very well. And
A one-man corporation.
Yeah, I
and
love
he says that on the box.
Killing it.
Shout out.
Love
it's
it.
not a groundhog account. Yeah.
Shout out to Dick Doug and Scarface though.
Circa shoes.
Yeah. Shout out to Benny, Shorty's team manager.
Oh, Benny's the best. Yeah, what's up, Benny? Driver. That's an inside
I'm
joke.
gonna put this one here.
Let's talk about Circa really quick.
Uh-huh.
Circa Euro Trip.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was like bringing this up
Really
to Marko,
quick.
and I was like, it's interesting because I don't know why, but in my head, this is like a moment in my career. But it was like one of the first times when like I dudded on a trip, you know, and like I hurt my ankle, and it was like I was on a trip with Colt Cannon, Chris Cole, John Rattray, Mark Appleyard. Like those dudes didn't come to play. They're so dead serious, you know. And I came from going on Shorty's trips, or was super laid back, like I said with Muska, no game plan, but we're getting stuff done, and hurt my ankle, dudded on that trip, and but it was amazing because I got to see such amazing skating go down, and like Jamie showed me a lot. He had his like notebook with the song, the time for how long the song was, with the amount of seconds per trick. And so he was like mapping it out perfect. And when I went home, I started to do that with mine. And then Muska and Tom Penny. And again, having that moment where I was like, Chad actually got mad at me because I let Tom and Chad room, because me and Chad were rooming together on the whole trip. And it was like 9 countries in 18 days. And then I was like, I hooked it up with the team manager where Chad and Tom were going to room. And then Chad grabbed me to the side and he's like, yo, like you got me and Tom room? And he's like, no, like I love Tom, but like me and you are going to room. Let's just keep it like that. And I was like, Chad is telling me that he doesn't want to room with Tom Penny and that he needs to room with me and Tom needs to room. I was like, this is like a dream, dude. I'm in Europe and like Tom Penny, this is just weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like Tom's like trying to hand me these hard lemonades, like, and I'm like, nah, Tom, I'm cool, dude. And like, it was just an amazing trip. But we went after, it was crazy because we did Barcelona right after, and we spent a grip of money because I had Chad tell the team manager when I was out there, like, hey, get the tickets for Sam to go to Barcelona. And like the owner Shorties was super mad, but my ankle felt better, and I just come off this trip where I seen Chris Cole nollie crook a 10-stair rail, break his nose, or 9-stair, break his nose, turn the board around, and nollie crook it off his tail.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, like y'all have been playing, but this dude is not. And so when I got to Barcelona, I was like, all right, it's game on. Like I had a whole new vision for this part.
Motivation.
And then it was crazy because Jesse Sylvie was the only other skater to come on the trip, and he was just chilling in Santa Barbara. And I'm like, came in hot like the Hulk, like ripping my shirt off, like we gotta go, you know. And he's like, all right, we're just getting our bearings going. I was like, dog, there is no bearings. We have to just go, you know.
Question though, during this time frame, were you still in school?
That's a good question. I was doing like independent studies. I was getting really bad grades because I kept not going to school. And at the time, I lived with Dylan Gardner, and then I was already doing like more adult stuff than I should have. And so they were at home, and I wanted to go home and not be at school so I could go skate the fun box in front of my house and hang out with Dylan Gardner. I thought was the coolest. And so I was in independent studies, but not really doing that either. And then, but that trip was during the summer.
Got you.
And so, but I couldn't stand school. Like you can't go from being on a trip with all those amazing people and doing, it literally was like killing my soul when I would go and do something cool with skating, then go back to school, and I would have all these adults being like adult to this kid who doesn't want to, like, you know, they weren't reading the room with me. I wish they would have like took more effort, but I don't think that, I think that like my energy was just going, like it was skate and everything else was like, get out of my way.
Right.
I wish it wasn't like that, but that's how it was.
No, I'm just wondering because again, like going back in time, I'm watching that video. I'm like, damn, he's only like 4 or 5 years older than I am. Like, all right, it's possible. I mean, to me, that seemed more feasible. And it's funny because it's like, dude, that's lightning in a bottle. I mean,
Oh yeah, it was like
but
crazy how
to
how all
see
happened.
it and like, damn, I wonder if he's in school. I wonder if he's like, how is he making this happen? Like, I just
Yeah, I
felt like to be
couldn't.
that young on the team.
I was living in Boulder, and like this is how serious it was to me. Is that like I took a road trip. I got really bad grades the first year of ninth grade, and then they were like brought me in, and they're like adults, you know. Again,
Mhm.
they're not like being how a kid needs to be talked to, and they're like, "Oh, you did so bad. You're flunking all of ninth grade. You're gonna have to do it all over again." And I was like, "All right, cool, dude. Cool story later." You know. So after that, I just bounced and went on a road trip to Santa Barbara, and then I called up my mom and brother, and I was like, "I'm not coming home.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna stay out here." And my brother was just losing it, and I was like, "Well, you got to come and literally physically put me on a plane, because I'm not. There's 70-degree weather." I felt like Noriega in that song. He said, "I'm in Miami. I don't know what you're gonna do." You know what I'm saying? Like you're in New York. It's cold. I'm in. And then yeah, and I didn't really care about school, and nobody cared to tell me except for my brother. But like, I wish that the people I was around skating wise. I'm sure George and the guy probably told me, but like the owner of Shorty's was a high school dropout too, so I don't think it was a big priority to him. And
I mean, that's the good reality though.
I think they want to touch on it. Stay in school, handle it. You know, be a champion on all aspects.
Right. All right, we're
Well,
gonna
board
keep it
next
going,
one.
man.
We're moving fast.
We're moving fast, guys. We gotta rifle through these because
Sorry, I got a tight schedule, everyone. You know what I mean? I have two
Yeah.
kids, and my wife runs the show in my world. She's the business manager and my business partner, and I have other. My schedule is tight. I do skate lessons. It's a Saturday. The Saturdays are the busiest days. So much love. We're going fast.
We're
yeah.
going fast. We're
All
making
right, let's do another one. There's many ways to.
Many ways to skin a cat. I don't know why you would skin a cat. but-
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You have
Keep
it.
on
That's
back,
dope.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
Had
All
to
right.
do it.
Man, this is such a blessing, and
Still in shrink for the most part. We're gonna rip it off.
it's crazy because this one, you know, like, and to touch back on the Circa trip, you know, like, my life is being against the wall. You know, I like to be having somebody to like gun at. You know, so that trip it was like Mark Appleyard and these people. They're obviously just the best in the world, and Chris Cole 2-time Skater of the Year. And then those are the people who I'm trying to like be next to, you know. And so I tore my ACL at 19 after Guilty, and around that time I called to get a raise because we all wanted more money. We're all special, but no, I felt like I deserved it, and Chad had co-signed that I deserved it. So at that time, Tony wanted to turn me pro, but I was like, I felt like, all right, he wants to just not give me the money I feel like I'm deserved, and like, once you go pro, all this other stipulations are involved. So it's like, just let me just get paid what I feel like I'm deserved. And then after that, I tore my ACL. It took so long. And then, so this was when I was like 21, but it meant so much to me because coming back from an ACL surgery was a lot. And I was so thankful. This is all I ever wanted as a kid, to have my name on the board. And
Still.
So, Sam, we got the okay from Brandon.
oh, what? I didn't even see that.
Exclusive.
I didn't even see that. Let's go.
Exclusives, baby.
Hold
we
these
got
babies.
we
So
got the redo, and it's got the Shorty skateboards on it. I
this
like it.
this were printed today, this morning.
Oh wow! Wow.
Approved by Shorty.
So
Thank
grateful.
you, Krishna and
then-
Brandon.
Thank you,
for
Krishna,
sending us-
Brandon, and Krishna, Shimei, the whole Shorty's family. It really is family over there.
God.
Brandon, love you, brother. Krishna, Shimei, you guys know that I love you, and I'm so thankful. Tony Bilas, I'm still being able to fulfill my dreams because of the vision that you created, and wait, it gives me chills right now. It's such a blessing, you know. It really does, you know.
Des, we're gonna sign.
Yeah.
So
Let's
Well,
do
not
it.
me, him.
yeah. all right.
Sammy, yeah, if you're down
Let's
to sign
do it.
some of
Let's
these,
do
we'll
it.
give
It
people
feels
an
good,
opportunity.
man. It has some texture to it, you
Little
guys.
texture.
I like it.
Yeah, man, we're hyped. So you actually do have a couple pro models for Shorties, though. There
Yeah,
were
yeah.
a couple more that came out.
My mom has some of them, and so I didn't keep much of, like, I wasn't tripping on keeping it. I don't
Right.
have like a board wall at my house, so I have some of the boards that I kept. But then yeah, I had like 4 or 5 models at the time. I think Tony was kind of burnt out on doing on the team and everything, and then he didn't like to bounce around with graphics a lot. And so I look back and I'm like, I wish I had more graphics, but I wasn't getting any say really in what graphic I chose. And also, the Muska one, he told me he didn't like to switch the graphics because he liked people to get used to the graphic, and he wanted to promote that like iconic moments with graphics. But then because I wasn't able to like choose my graphics, and it was a feeling of kind of everyone was burnt out over there. Like Tony was choosing the graphics, but then you could only email Tony. You couldn't call or go have lunch with them, and that part of the team was like not happening. And so I think that I had a bunch of other graphics,
Right.
but I wasn't tripping on them that much because it was just. But at the end of the day, I was so thankful.
No, the fact this is still iconic one. This one right here, people still talk about it, right? And then I'm hyped on it. Yeah, I think I seen the Pitbull one though. There's
Yeah,
like
I had a
the
Pitbull. I had like a Ace of Spades one, a Pitbull, a Ace of Spades one, and a couple other. Right when we did How to Go Pro, it also too it was like, the videos stopped selling. It was like when the internet started popping, and then so was no reason to really put that much money into skate videos if it wasn't gonna sell. And then so the Pitbull one, the Ace of Spades one, and I had like one other one I think. And then shortly after, that's when Muska had quit, and then I got the call from the team manager. He's like, if you're gonna make a move, like make a move. But this one meant a lot, and it did pretty well in the beginning, which it felt good to like wait a long time and then have your board be like well received.
We're gonna have a couple of these.
We're gonna have a couple
Let's
on
go.
our website.
This
Let's go.
wallridex.com.
Yeah, so you're gonna be able to get this,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna have some signed. You guys explain exactly. the
Yeah.
details.
Yeah.
You guys will get an opportunity to get some of these signed by Sammy Baptista. Sammy Baptista.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just want to jump into something. The original came out after Guilty.
Yeah, like this came out at the How to Go Pro premiere.
Okay.
And so, which is really dope, you know, like Tony did an ad where I was holding up a jersey and it was like a fake press conference for like an NBA player. And so it was really awesome because I know that Tony was kind of like at that time feeling a little bit burnt out on the company, and but he put a lot of effort into making me feel special and like getting this to me at the premiere and stuff, and it felt dope
awesome.
because
And then you mentioned like
Respect.
how your fulfill the dream part, like you were like okay on it. You weren't as hyped as everyone else was. What about Guilty?
Oh, Guilty, that's my one. It's funny because you don't get to enjoy things like you think you would, you know? So at the Guilty premiere, like, I sat there and I was so thankful, and that's like, to this day, I think my, like, it's not my best body of work, but that's the spark right there, you know? Like, Fulfill the Dream was like, okay, I was doing my thing, but like, Guilty, I'm so proud of because I put so much work in, and I felt like my skating I was finally a little bit older and a little bit more power. And I remember I was in the stands looking at it, and I was like, I'm never, ever going to top that. Like, what am I going to do? Because so much went into it, you know?
Right.
But I was stoked on that one.
Can you talk a little bit about like structuring your video parts? You know, the beginning, the middle, and the enders. Like, you know, because we used to skate together a lot. We used to film together a lot.
All the time.
Used to film
I
me
love
kidding.
Marko. I love
Used to do
Marko.
it.
He motivates.
Filming
He
missions.
gets amped, you know?
I'm gonna grab this OG.
Get that one out of there. So
I was trying to get shit done, right?
Oh, he was,
But,
yeah.
but how do you structure your video parts? Like, how you like, you know, okay, I want to have this in the beginning, in the middle, and then ender. Do you like you think
For
about
like
it
the
like
thought process before filming, or
before filming, go like the whole process?
I think you gotta just like get some stuff going, you know. It's weird because you want to get like
Do you have a list of tricks?
no,
No. Spots?
Ender
No.
first.
No, Ender. Well, like, you know, I think that with anyone out there having a career, I think like it's always playoffs. Like, stop playing regular season games. You know what I'm saying? And so every day was like dead serious to get it handled. You know, and then so you get like this body of work, and you've been working on it for like a year, and then you're like, okay, this is gonna go on, this isn't gonna go on, and then you're like, okay, is it gonna be your best trick first? You know, because like Reynolds had done that. Like, you come in with your
Opening
best trick, or is it gonna be like? With Guilty, I had that opening line, and I was like, I feel like that just came in hot, you know, and it like sets it in motion, and then you just fill in the blanks from there, and then closer to the end, then you're gonna get more risky because you don't care really if you get hurt. But yeah, I mean, for me, I looked up to Keenan and Gino so much, and so my
Legends.
video parts, I always just looked at that, and I was like, okay, that's how you make Gino's part in Trilogy. Is like, this is a video part. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. And then you have some lines, you have some bangers. You don't want to put all the lines together. You don't want to put all the singles together. You want to make them mix and flow together. But I don't know. I think when you go in, it kind of flows and it kind of like becomes its own thing. And then I think if anyone's watching this, what helped me with Guilty is I edited that thing like 40, 50 times.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, I was in there all the time, and so
Yeah.
I was doing a trick
Over and over.
Sometimes I would be in the middle of filming a trick, and I knew where it was going in the video part, and then I wouldn't get the trick because I was already thinking of where it was going to go. You know?
Yeah.
Do you think that's what part of what made Beat on Shorty's kind of special though? Because you mentioned you got to pick your song too, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to pick that off
Yeah.
the books, Big Pun, and And the Fulfill the Dream?
All
too?
of it, yeah.
Yeah, and then the fact that you had so much say in the editing process.
I think big time, you know, and it was like, I just took pride. Like, I think being a pro skater back then and being a sponsored skater, it like meant a lot, you know? So it was like, I'm not trying to go do good in a contest. Like, I'm trying to make some art, you know? Like, I want to put something in skateboarding that like people will be stoked on, you know? I want like, if there's one trick that Eric Costin or Mike Carroll or somebody that I looked up to seen and was like, oh, that was cool, like it's worth it. And so having your own song, it definitely was a lot, and it was everything. I mean, with Guilty, it was like finding a song that nobody had really heard. And I remember the owner of Shorty's was like, was that Prodigy on the chorus of it? And so it was like very specific to try to, I always looked up to Mike Carroll too, where like the first time I heard BC Boys was in that part. And so to not use a reused song, like a song that was popular. And then, yeah, it definitely hyped me up. Yeah.
Word.
And we were like, that's what I was alongside Muska, dude. Like,
Word.
I felt like, yeah, we were doing it big, you know?
Quitting Shorties.
Tears right in the email. Tears.
What?
Like,
Quit
serious.
one of the biggest brands ever. Creating Turf with Mike York. What was the thought process? Are you can you talk about that? You and Mike York.
Talk about that letter, though.
Okay.
I gotta hear about the letter. Like
The letter, it was just so sad. I was at Shorty's and I wrote this long email, and then I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And then like Tony responded within like 2 minutes, it felt like, you know, and it felt like he had the draft ready.
Oh.
Because he was ready probably for everyone to quit, you know. Like he was like, all right, this is done. And I remember feeling like, man, okay, that felt easy for him, and it was really hard for me. And yeah, it was just the worst, you know. It was the best day and the worst day, because I remember like having the Shorty's chain, and like I had like a cool car at the time, and then I thought like, all right, I'm gonna not have skating, and the glass slipper is gonna like not fit, or it's gonna break, but then I walked out and the chain was still there, my skating was still there, and at the time I was like really hitting my groove. And you know what I was gonna say too is that when I left Shorty's, I felt like my skating really went to a different space. And so I really had to fight for everything, and it made me like, it really just, lion facing his last breath is his most fierce. And like, I didn't care anymore. I didn't have big sponsors. I didn't have Shorties to rely on. I was like, all right, like I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it. And now it's about putting my stamp on skateboarding and being like, people believed in me. And I didn't feel like I was like done enough to really show everyone like, yeah, I was really the person that they believed in, the person that Muska told to handle the business. Like I need to really follow through. And I felt like after Shorties, I was able to really hit that next spot. And then, which is cool, is that York and Chocolate has parted ways, and so I was like, okay, Mike York is just a legend. And I was really stoked on this new part I had ready, and so York wanted to do Turf, and I was like, let's go. And I felt like, you know, Jay-Z once said, like, you gotta know. And so after Shorties, I was like, okay, like, I know
This is
like,
gonna work.
I'm not tripping, let's go.
You don't think you know.
You know, exactly. And then it was a lot harder, you know. Turf was a way harder to, Shorties was like a movement. I mean, even with Girl and Chocolate, like dipping out from World, like it took a while for them to get the ball rolling. And World, Shorties, they have a distribution, they have a engine. And when you don't have an engine going, it's like, all right, you got to jumpstart it. And me personally, I didn't want to do anything to do with the business. I wanted to go and switch flip and do everything I wanted to do as a pro skater, not business-wise.
Who was on the team? Turf.
Mike York, Jason Whistler, Jabari Pendleton, Vince Salvi, Jason Wakazawa in the beginning. Jason Wakazawa had a dope part. I think that's it, if I'm missing anyone. But yeah, our first video was
Billy
cool. It was like
Roper?
a cult classic. Billy was on later, so
Later.
Billy and Tony Montgomery got on later. And so we were just trying to make it happen, you know, but yeah, it was hard.
You saved some decks, right?
I saved some decks. Yeah, I was skating
Let's show
everything.
these
So
graphics.
this one was super random. I liked it. People were like, it actually looked like me. It wasn't me though, you know.
Sammy, the graphic guy, was the guy from.
That was different. So the first ones, yeah, was an alligator with my name written big.
Word.
This was later on when they had Sean Biega had taken over.
So these are personal riders. You skated these.
Yeah, I skated these, and I literally didn't care to get more boards, and I didn't have boards sometimes, and so I was like, I'm just skating whatever.
No, some people only collect personal riders.
Yeah.
This is sick.
So but I'm stoked I kept them because I get to see the graphics. And I had a different one, and my friend traded me for this. So this was
Show that
one.
one, Marko.
This is one that I liked. It was just like simple, but it was cool.
Yeah.
And again, like I was just so stoked to have my name on the board, and then after Shorty's, it was like, okay, like the glass slipper is still there, you know, like the dream's still intact, you know.
Right.
But looking back, I kind of wish I would have just tried to reach out to different people too, but to see if I could have gotten on a bigger company, because I didn't get to travel or do anything. But also, riding for Shorty's, I'd already ridden for such a big company that I wanted to do something like fresh and new, and I felt like we had the Seinfeld curse where like you were part of something so successful that nobody really wanted George and Elaine or any of these people because they're only George and Elaine, and so to everyone else, I'm just Sammy, the kid from Shorty's. It's not going to be, you know.
Question. So at this point, you said you tore your ACL after
Guilty.
Guilty. What happened?
Man, it was so random. So like, this is the thing too. Is I'll just touch on it quick because we have a lot of stuff to get through. When I was really young, I tried to ollie this 10 stair and I landed on it, slipped out, and then I tried to kickflip it. And this is like 13 years old in like 1994. You know, I don't know why I was trying to kickflip a 10 stair, no camera, nothing, and jump down, hyperextended my left knee, then come back from that. I'm young. Fast forward, I went to Tampa for Tampa Pro with the crew, and then I tried to switch back heel flip the Bricktown 4-flat-4, and I jumped out, and like the wind went, and I severely like my knee like went this way and that way, and then rode my bike a lot when I came home, never got it checked out, and then like all that was when I filmed Guilty, and like really none of it mattered. Like my knee was fine. It wasn't like it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And then after Guilty, I think it was wear and tear, and then I tried to do a switch tray flip down this Newbury Park double set. Landed it a bunch, landed on one, slipped out, put my foot back on, and like rolled away like ghetto. And then I was trying to switch tray flip on flat, practicing for it to light up the generators, and I jarred it. I landed on my board and my knee like jarred a little bit, and then it was torn ACL after that. So random.
But you felt it though, like you just felt like whoa.
Felt like nothing. It was weird. It wasn't it wasn't jumping down the 10 stair. It wasn't Bricktown. It wasn't anything gnarly. I just think it was like a timing belt on a car where it was so much work that, and then, so the doctor didn't even think I had a torn ACL because it was so minor.
Can you talk about some of your tricks? Switch flip, switch back tail, Jake one, gap to ledge. I was there.
Marko was there. Yeah, it was a blessing.
How many times you went there? Like, and how many tries? Start off
7 times back over 5 months. And I think this is what I think a lot of people, like this new generation, like we want it. You know, you want to like post something, you want to have it be rewarding. Like it's not, you know, like the bread and butter like comes with time. Like put the work in, like plant the seed, like watch it grow. Like, and so with the switch flip back tail, I only did switch flip back tails for only switch flip back tail, that only trick for like 5 months. And I only I went back 7 times, but that was the only trick I ever wanted and the only trick I ever really cared about at that much, you know.
Gap to ledge.
Jake, and then it's funny.
So
you were willing to
7 times.
It went 7 times back, and it kept not sliding. You know, the ledge goes down, and it's offset. So this ledge is going down that you take off, and this ledge is angled flat. So you jam into it. What? And so when I was trying to switch the back tail back to switch, it wouldn't slide. And like I'm a switchback tailer, dude. Like if it won't slide for me, I don't know what's happening. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna switch the back tail back all the way. And then I like went out the night before. I went out on a Friday, lost my board, had to set up a brand new board, and then like did it on that brand new board and had like partied out 2 days in a row and was not my best. But like that time of trying to switch the back tail, like it just set in motion. And CU trim was there. Such a blessing.
Hundreds of times.
So many times.
Hundreds.
Going insane.
But you said 5 months you only practiced like
only switch the back tails. But I was making sure, I was like, I got this fight, and like this punch is gonna bam, you know what I mean? Because that's all I wanted. But at that point, I knew that anyone who's in the middle of your career, you're probably getting around 3, 4, 5, 10 tricks tops a year that's gonna be remembered. When you put that into your career outlook, it's a very scary thing. Like you are gonna maybe fall in the category of not one trick you ever do will be remembered. So with that being said, you better pick 1, 2, or 3 that you know are going to be stamped, and that one was major for me.
How did it feel once you landed it?
Oh, it's crazy because I feel like I rolled off the curb and I almost fell off my board because I was like, oh my God. I knew that, okay, like, out of everything in my career I did, that one just mattered the most to me, and it was so special because Gino and everyone that has skated it, and it's a really hard spot to skate, so it felt amazing. And but then after that, like everything really started to be easier after that.
Like switchback tail frost.
Yeah, like
How many times was that?
Switchback tail frost was like first time there and was within like 10 tries. So that's
Wow.
how weird it is, you know, like. But I think
From the
from the
first
switch flip back tail, my stocks were like high, you know, like I felt so good about myself and I felt so confident in my skating. And of course you can't jump down frost 400 times, you know, you gotta like figure it out.
What about Nollie 180 switch manny switchback set flip? US.
That's the funny one, yeah. That one was first day there too, and just
what?
random, yeah, didn't even,
Okay.
no plan on it,
All
just
right.
random. But yeah, that one was a blessing. I was skating with Emmerich Jane from Skate Sauce a lot, and so our vibe was just really good, and there was no pressure, nothing. And that one was just, again, just skating a lot, and that was after the switch flip back tail on Wilshire Gap Ledge. So I feel like you have like walls in your life or like rocks you're pushing up a hill, and like if you don't push it up, it keeps rolling over you, and then if you get over that hill, everything starts to get easier. And so that all those tricks.
We gotta keep moving.
Let's keep it moving.
Retirement.
I was trying to switch tray flip this bump to gap. It's like there's two bump to gap. There's two bump to gaps that are in similar areas. There's Luke Kane, and then there's the one that's on the Luke Kane.
Van Nuys.
Yeah, and that one's really, really fun, and I was switch tray flipping it, and you know what's funny? I think I did the same thing. Now that I look back, I didn't even put that together. I was switch tray flipping it, and I was like not getting it, but I had switch trays really good at that time, and then I ollied it, and I turned around, and I did a switch tray flip on flat, like going full speed, and I like jerked my knee again, you know, switch tray flip. But then it wasn't bad or anything, but it was just annoying enough to, I knew it was going to take a while to come back from.
Same leg?
No, I think it was my other knee.
Oh, wow.
But it was like lightweight. I'd been through so many injuries where I was like, it's not a big deal. But then like Shane O'Neill had just came out and a couple other really dope skaters. And like, I didn't want to be like bench warmer. I wanted to be like starting five. And so I always had that in my mind that like you leave while you're hot. And so I just felt that I was like, it's going to take me so long to come back to where I was at that moment. And also, I just wanted to kind of like bow out when I was at a happy moment in my career. And I was stoked that these new skaters were taking the reins of that like high level tech switch skating. And it was super depressing. And I didn't rebound from that for like years and stuff. So I think if anyone's going through stuff, looking back, you know, like I would have stayed in champion mode out the gate and been like, take it on the chin and get up and start doing something, because I just was like drunk for a long time, didn't care about anything for a long time, and kind of don't have any self-worth outside of skateboarding when you're a pro skater, and that's not true, you know. You're like, human beings are awesome regardless, I feel like.
Well, that's very like in the skateboard culture, right? A lot of it is just about rock star, moving fast, party, skate, land the trick. All right, now let's go celebrate that you landed the trick. And
A
then
huge,
it becomes a
a
cycle.
huge wave.
Right.
And then so what's at the end of the wave? Is a crash.
Can you talk about mental health, depression?
I think it's a huge one that like nobody.
It's a heavy one.
It's a heavy one. You know, my brother just took his life about 2 years ago, and I was like really, really low at times. Like when I was doing some of those tricks, I was really low. Like I feel like people need to say this more often. Like I didn't even feel like being here at times, and I'm skating at this level that I'm so proud of, and I was like dealing with stuff that I just didn't really care and didn't want to be alive at times, and that lasted for like a long time. And so when I retired, imagine when you're skating at that level and each trick was giving me a boost in my life. And then when I retired, I was like, okay, like safety net gone, like invisible cloak gone, like life coming at me full speed, and really low for a long time, was really drunk for a long time, was really not telling people how I was really feeling. And so I was really bad to like a lot of people around me, just not telling them like, hey, I don't feel good inside. And but then anyone going through it, like it gets better, but I had to really open up to people and let them know like, hey, I feel like this, and that here's X, Y, and Z why I feel like this, and kind of like those deepest, darkest demons that everyone has and nobody wants to talk about, that you feel like you're special in a negative way because of it, and you're not. Everyone has something that makes them feel really low. they just don't always verbalize it. And so I feel a lot better now. And anyone who's going through it, like, but the thing is, it took me like, I'm talking from like 25, 26 to like 36.
Wow.
So not a lot of people have 10 years to sit there and feel like that, but I just fall on my head and get back up. I'm a skater, so mentally I was falling on my head and getting back up, and every day was another day. And now I feel great, you know, but I also got sober. I'm sober 6 years, and so
Congrats.
that's probably the biggest thing. If you're drunk all the time, you're just like taking a depressant, and it's not good.
Dude,
But
thanks for sharing that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's real.
Yeah.
People need to hear that, and it's gonna make waves. For sure, you've inspired a lot. I feel like you've inspired a lot more people than you even know, dude.
Thanks.
Like, literally,
Means
when
a
Marko
lot.
told me, Sam Baptista, I'm like, what? I like
Let's
stopped
go.
everything, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like,
let's
hold on,
go.
man. Like,
it means so much
let's
to
go.
me. Yeah, and I think that like that's what I kind of want to share to people is that like I've been blessed, you know, and I think a lot of the times when I was low, I didn't see my blessings, you know, like I didn't want to be here. I was feeling so low, and I was at the bar one time, and somebody was so hyped to see me, and like I went home, and I cried, because I was like, why don't I see in me what that person sees in me? And it made me really bummed out. But like I just wasn't counting my blessings, you know. And blessings aren't being a pro skater. Like blessings are like having 2 arms and 2 legs and being able to see and having hot water to take a shower and cold water to drink. And because I'm blessed and I'm a retired pro skateboarder, I want to like share that part of my life. So if somebody's feeling low, like you're not alone. And I had all this cool stuff, those blessings, and I still felt super low. And life is awesome though, dude. But you gotta like, it's not gonna change just on its own. You know, if you sit in a room looking at the room and you're drinking that same drink, you're gonna stay in that same space.
and like you said, you never know what anyone's going through, because literally I have friends that are doctors, you know, and doctor, you're successful, you're this and that. Other friends that, you know, social media, right? Even myself, 500,000 followers, whatever. They think, you shouldn't have any issues. Dude, everyone goes
Going
through
it. Anthony Bourdain and Robin Williams. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta. But the thing is, what's dope is that everyone's going through it, bro. You're not special. If you're watching this, you aren't special. Everyone feels like that. You know, and I went to AA, I went to meetings. It was like 9 out of 10 people. I feel like not being here. I feel like this is what I was doing. I was like, I'm so not special. They're telling my story. So you wake up, you want to drink, you get hungover, you feel like crap, and then you want to drink, and then you're depressed then that's why you drink, and then it's just a vicious cycle. But it takes a long time, and being 6 years sober, I'm going to tell you that it took me like 2 years to like level out, you know? And then life's annoying. I get so annoyed at stuff, but now I learn how to be quiet. I learn how to be positive and kind and not cause wreckage, you know? And then that wreckage that you cause in your life sometimes makes you more depressed. And so reach out, tell somebody like, hey, I don't feel good, or this is why I'm not feeling good. And more times than not, like, they're going to give you a hug. And if they don't, like, go tell 10 other people, and then somebody's going to be there for you, you know?
And I mean, no, you are a special case though, because you've seen it all, dude. You really have seen it all, bro. Like, you've lived through so much. And the best part about it, to me, is that you're giving back now. You have the skateboard school. Maybe you can talk about that.
As we skate academy.
Yeah, let's grab the board.
Get the board.
Yeah.
So this, and back to the skate zone.
So who made this one?
Marko made this. Marko's my brother, you know, like Marko, he's so positive and kind, you know, and so people like Marko make me excited about life, you know what I mean? And Marko made this whole complete for us, and people kept asking like about boards and stuff, and we would just, at the camps too especially, so we have them on site. I do a skate camp at the Orchid in Santa Barbara, the private indoor park, which is like Skate Point, Skate Zone 2.0. And this is the Skate Zone logo, but switched up a little bit because it was like a sign. And so that's the switch flip down the Barcelona 4, the silhouette. And yeah, I do skate lessons all day, every day. I love helping out these kids. Like, so many kids are so scared, and I see them get so much more motivation and being able to like carve through a bowl and do kick turns. And some kids are on the switch, but a lot of it's just fundamentals and basics, but getting kids just learning and stuff. And it's been amazing. This has been very uplifting for my soul too, and helping me learn. And me and my wife do this. My wife does all the business side of it, and then I just do the lessons and the out in the field side. But it's been amazing.
Shout out to your wife, man.
Yeah,
Stacy. She's so awesome. Yeah, she's the best ever. Yeah, she was my support during when I was low too. And so now to get to this point, it's amazing and my kids skate and stuff too. But it's been super fun. Yeah, the park we have up there is awesome, and The website is
The website?
skateboardacademy.com, and super easy to sign up. And like, I just want to make skateboarding in that category of soccer, baseball, piano, guitar. Like, if you don't try it, you don't know if your kid's gonna like it. And so if you try it, your kid might be in the X Games. I don't know, or maybe they just have fun skating. But give them a shot. I can do it safely, and I have a whole team that does it too.
SB Skating,
SBSkateboardacademy.com.
and it's year round.
Year round. I do it year round. We do the camps up in Santa Barbara area year round, like every break, like Memorial, spring break, Thanksgiving break, Christmas break. Just not every. I'm opposite of the school schedule, so the teachers get those breaks off, and I do lessons at the.
All right.
Then I have some. I wanted to show you guys these hats too.
Yes.
Yeah, he brought in some goodies. Then he's gonna sign some goodies. Stay with us.
These are fun too. And so like this has helped me with my mental health too, is doing some sort of creative project. And so this is like Tony Bulis living through me in a lot of ways, where like I have this idea, like this is a SF college SF, but I redid to the SB. And then that's an OG Quentin hat I had. And then this is like a New York Cubans one I redid.
Nice.
This is the first ones I did, is the SF Giants with the SV. And then I'm wearing this one too, is like the Mets one.
Yep.
So that's just what I've been doing, having fun, you know.
5 panels?
These are 5 panels.
Five
Yeah, they're
panels?
like structured 5 panels. So I was doing a lot of unstructured 5 panels, but just the wave with the trends and stuff is stay trendy, bro. You know.
Yeah.
people like the bigger bills. They're more fitting like a new era.
Like baseball look.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
All right.
That was
Thanks,
amazing.
Sammy.
Hey,
Thank
you
you
know
so
what?
much for
Thanks
coming,
opening
bro.
up. We
Thank
packed
you.
a lot
Thank you.
in a short amount of time.
Wow.
And now we're about to sign some decks.
Let's do it.
Dez, aka FlippinBoards, Marko, Sharko, Jazbinsek, the one and only Sammy Baptista.
Thank you,
Let's
guys.
go. See you on next time.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Peace.
Yeah.